Hey, 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 you guys, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here with me this week. I hope you are having an incredible week, an incredible month, an incredible everything. Today, I wrote a post on Facebook and Instagram that talked a little bit about my son, and it didn't really go into the details of like kind of what we're going through with him right now, but I think that it connected with a lot of hearts out there. And I have to be honest and tell you that I actually have read the post several times myself, and I actually couldn't even fall asleep last night because I had the post on my heart. And for me, so just like a little bit of a background for those of you that don't necessarily follow me on social media or are not sure what post I'm talking about. I talked about how my son, a little bit different. It's so funny to say that because you're like, well, different how, Lori? Honestly, like when I think about H, like he's just this, like he's a dreamer. The things that I struggle with him the most, the things that I'm challenged the most in, are also the things that I love the most about him. And it's this really interesting balance with parenting because it's like, do you squash that in him to get him to fall in line to make things easier in life, or do you encourage those things but also somehow try to teach him to color between the lines per se? So he's a dreamer. He's always thinking. His mind's always going in a million different places. He's creative, like he loves drama and singing and music and playing in a way that his brothers really don't play, right? Like his brothers are honestly really quite simple at this stage to parent. They love school. They are really intelligent in the way that you expect them to be intelligent in order to succeed in school. They do sports. They're very disciplined. They're very like, they're a lot like me. And I think that sometimes when we are parenting children that are different sides of ourselves and not necessarily the forward facing sides, it can be really challenging, right? And I don't normally talk a lot about parenting on here, but I do believe that this can resonate for us on a personal and a business level too, because when I think about this, when I think about the people that I follow online, the people that I connect with, the people that inspire me day to day, it's not the people that are coloring between the lines, right? It's the people that are brave and bold enough to stand out and be different from the crowd, and to honestly to speak their truth, to allow their magic inside to shine to the outside. And the thing is that they're adults, right? It's a little bit easier than it is because I can stand here on the rooftop or on my stage and tell you, be different. Different is better. Stand out. Speak your truth. Be who you really are. When it comes to parenting my child, my natural inclination is to keep him safe. And safe means without ridicule, without challenge, without like the teasing or whatever it looks like, right? Safe does not look like the way that I coach my clients. And it's just this really interesting cycle that I'm going through, and a cycle that's actually gotten me to look back at my own childhood and my own growth development and ask myself, like, why do I believe safe is better, or where in my life did I play it safe in order to fit in? And honestly, I think I did it for decades, and I'm sure that many of you out there did too, right? Like we're kind of told we want to be in the certain in crowd. We want to like, in order to excel, these are the things that you need to do. These are the ways that you need to dress, all of those things. And I have some really funny, like halfway stories, but when like maybe they're not like funny, haha, when you really look at them. But like, so back in like grade six, I had Levi's jeans, and I thought Levi's jeans were the things that you were supposed to wear. And apparently I go to school and the Levi's jeans were, yes, the thing that you were supposed to wear, but I had the dreaded orange tag, you guys. Orange tag equals not cool. Everybody was supposed to wear the red tag. And I was already going through a season of bullying. My parents had moved houses when I was in grade 4. And when I entered the new school, it wasn't a smooth transition, just to say the least. There's a lot of trauma that went down. I had to see a child like there was a lot of stuff. And but anyways, this like this tab thing was like that icing on the cake. When I had just started to fit in, I had a sidestep, a wrong step, and it pushed me back out into being an outcast, to the point where I actually got my uncle, and I mean, I didn't ask him, that this was the solution that my family came to, was to change out my uncle's red tab, because he didn't give a shit if there was a tab on his Levi's jeans. He wasn't doing it as a status symbol, right? And they sewed it, like they cut off my orange tab and they sewed it onto my jeans, because there was just no way on heaven's earth that I was going to wear those jeans with the orange tab to school ever again. I think in some ways, like looking back on that, I would have rather gone naked. Like, and I'm sure like many of us can put ourselves back into these scenarios that we can remember, like, and we think back and we look at them now, and there are these moments that make us kind of giggle and chuckle to ourselves, and they're funny punchlines at a, at a cocktail party when you're telling stories, but they were deeper than that at that time for us. And a lot of those little instances really shaped the people that we became, the way that we made decisions, the way that we hid in the world, or the way that we found ways to stand out or blend in, whatever it is that you decided to do. And it's like, it also comes into play with when we are raising our children, when we're parenting them. And I also think it comes into play when we are, uh, like, I want to say raising these businesses, because these businesses are something that grow inside of us and then grow into the outside world, right? And so my natural inclination for Mr. H is to just to shield him from all of that hard, right? Because I've been through that hard and I know how freaking hard that is. But I also know that as a job, my job as a parent isn't to shelter him from all of those things. My job as a parent is to give him the strength to endure all of those things without losing who he is, right? With being even more of who he is, and to teach him to be who he is amongst all of this hard, amongst all of this challenge, and to get him to rise above all of that and still be who he is, this amazing light in this world. And so I think that that's my message for all of you today. Um, Not just with parenting. In fact, like this ultimately comes down to who we are and how we're showing up in the world too. It gave me this moment of pause to look at my own self and think like, okay, where am I only putting out content because I believe that this is where what the people want, right? That I believe that this will like make me noticeable enough to the people that I want to be noticeable to, but will still shield me from like any kind of ridicule, any kind of judgment, all of that, right, will still keep me safe. But maybe I'm not here to be safe anymore. Maybe the magic inside of me isn't going to be brought to the world by playing it safe. Maybe it's by saying the hard things. Maybe it's by standing up on a stage when you are terrified. Maybe it's about doing one single thing that feels like it's for you, but that you've waited a lifetime to do, right? I don't know what that thing is for you. I don't know what the words are for you. I don't know what the thing inside of you that is holding you back is, but I do know that you know, right? When we look inside of ourselves, we already know all of the answers. We already know what we're supposed to do. But what happens is it comes up to our brain and we talk ourselves out of it, right? I have so many clients right now, um, that, and the majority of my clients that I work with are in network marketing. That's kind of where I started my niche. It's why I started this podcast. And over time, it's developed and it's grown, right? Like it's become, and I think it's because we grow and we develop too. And a lot of network marketers decide to take on other businesses. So a lot of my clients have become clients that are building something all their own, right? Who are building an online business or an in-person business and are looking to get branding and strategy and all those things. And I think like that feels also like a ledge for me, right? But it'd be a ledge that I feel really called out to step onto. And so I would ask you like to dig deep, and maybe it's to head into your journal and to ask yourself like where am I not saying the things that need to be said? Where am I not standing up on the stage that is rightfully mine? Where am I playing small when I was born to play big? Right? Where am I keeping myself inside of a box that feels like that's turning into a cage. That's turning into something that feels like it's stifling me. And as I raise my small humans, that one of like when I wrote that post, somebody wrote a message to me and we started talking about it. And she said it's kind of like we put our hearts on these like things that go out into the world, and our hearts are exposed all over the place and vulnerable all over the place. And that's what it feels like to me today as I'm going through this season inside of parenting. And but you know what? It all makes a difference. Different is magic, different is perfect. And if in being vulnerable, I'm able to help one person, if in sharing the gifts inside of me, I'm able to change one person, uplift one person, encourage one person to live into their own truth, and then they go and they do it for somebody else, like that is the ripple effect that we are all looking for in this world. That is what creates change. That is what creates impact. So, this is your little call to action today. Your little call to action to do the thing that you're afraid to do, to parent in a way that feels authentic to you, to live in a way that no longer feels safe. Live in a way that feels purpose driven, that feels vulnerable, that feels scary as shit, that feels like everything, everything that matters. All right, you guys, I don't know. I hope this landed for the right people. I hope this hits the right ears. I have no idea. It just felt like a whim that I needed to ramble on. I love you to the moon and back. And for those of you that are continuing on to the next episode, I will see you there. And for those of you that tune in every week, I will see you next week. Same bad time, same chat channel. So much love.